What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe, and this is not EVE Online, but this is a deep dive into my past. And I was moving over the last, week or so, and I came across a bunch of discs and things that I haven't gone through since I was, probably since like 20 or 30 years ago. So I figured I would go through them and show you what was in there, and maybe you could have a little bit of nostalgia along with me. So first things first, just to show you what we're dealing with here. It's one of the, over there we go. It's one of these like flip back with 3.5 or 5.25 inch discs. So as you saw, the first disc, pardon for the bump, is Rampage, which for IBM PC Tandy 1000 and 100% compatible computers. So Rampage. Now if you remember this game, you were scaling buildings and punching. It was like local co-op, and you just kind of scale up the sides of this building in the middle, and you would punch out a window and eat people that were inside, and you could punch each other if you were on the same side of the same building. It was really good fun. And you would like demolish a building, but you would have to get off the building before it would fall. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm going to keep track of these, but all right. So that's Rampage. Now, second up is Golden Axe, and I'm sure many of you have played this. We also have a standard floppy behind it here. I don't know what's on there, but Golden Axe is it was kind of a la, what's it called? You know those like Double Dragon fighting games where you just sort of like have a side-scrolling sort of 2D, sort of half a dimension that you could go back and forth. But you would scroll along. It was very much an arcade game, but I really liked that. And so that was disc 1 and disc 2 of the same game, and they're both double stacked with other floppies. Now we're getting into, let's see, there's a lot of discs for this. All right, the next 11 discs are, here, let me see if you can get up in there, King's Quest 6. And I've got all 11 discs here. You can see the Dynamics Sierra Game Arts sleeves. And if you haven't played any of the King's Quest games, you can get them on Good Old Games. And you may be able to get them also on Steam these days. Let's see. Looks like we've also got TVGA, I don't know, some utility discs and a very blank disc. But if you remember, they also on the back of it tell you how to care for your diskette. So there we go. Don't bend it. Be careful writing on it. Don't paperclip it and other such. So we'll just put that there. Now, this is disc 2 of Speedball. I remember really liking this game, but I don't remember almost anything about it. And I should, since I've got the internet here. Let me, Speedball game. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see here. Boom. All right. So, Speedball. Let's look at more images here. Okay, I vaguely remember. I remember really wanting to be good at this game and play it. I remember being terrible at it. It sort of reminded me, I bet if I got a disc drive I could play this. And it may be available on Good Old Games. But alright, let's just keep on moving. So that's disc 2 of Speedball. And then let's see. Okay, alright, so this is going to give, there's disc 1. Alright, so disc 1, Speedball, of the 2-disc series. We've got a, this is an add-on for one of the coming games, so I'm not going to give it away. But the next one is discs 1 through 4 of 4D boxing. Now this is very similar to like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out back in the day. And also, Electronic Arts, you can see there. I got a lot of playtime out of this. Again, also IBM Tandy and compatibles. I had a compatible. And then this accessory disc that... nope, getting ahead of myself there. The accessory disc that I had goes with this game, so we'll just group it in there. And this is Jack Nicklaus Unlimited Golf and Course Design. Now, for those of you who, I mean, golf, it's kind of funny in retrospect. There were a lot of pool games way back in the day, and there were a lot of golf games as well. And I played, well, all of the pool games. I didn't play all of the pool games, but I got a lot of the pool games for my dad as gifts. He never played them, but when you're a kid, you don't really put that together until far later. So the accessory disc that I have here was for the golf courses that I was creating with the game. So discs 1 to 3 of Jack Nicklaus, and he was when I was young and I played a lot of golf, he was one of my heroes. So I always told people that I would be the next Jack Nicklaus. Newsflash, I am not the next Jack Nicklaus. So, all right, we've got 6 discs for the Imagination Network. Let's see, we'll get that a little higher. Or, as you can see, it's called the Sierra Network, part of the Sierra family. Now, there were like cribbage and card and sort of parlor game type things. Here, I'll try to hold this steady. And if there we go. Yeah, there's nothing on the folders, but there's 6 discs for this here. And they've got a phone number. They've got an address. They've got all kinds of things. The Imagination Network version 2.3, and it's got a serial number, which is pretty amazing as well. So we'll just put those down. But it had a whole lot of parlor games. It had Shadow of Zerbius, which is Yserbius, and I was playing that earlier this week. I had to use a DOS emulator to get it to run, but that's life, right? And lots of card games and parlor games in there, and it was kind of an online world that you could go and socialize with other people. It was one of the first online areas. And this is the Sierra Network version 2.0. So this was like an earlier version. And that's discs 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that was a 5. This had my Willie Beamish save games on it. Willie save, you can see my chicken scratching there. And 4D boxing. I was trying to make copies of that game. That was originally, actually, I'm starting to get into, there we go. Let's put these first ones back in the container in the section that they were in, and then we'll get into this next one. So, we just finished version 2.0 of the Sierra Network, which turned into the Imagination eventually. And next up, let's see, we've got some just standard copy discs. And then, because we already mentioned it, we've got Willie Beamish. Let's see, discs 2, 3, 4, and 5. Somewhere in here. Where is Willie Beamish disc 1? All right, well, we're going to have to find that. But anyway, Dynamics, I think also, yep, by Sierra. So if I hold this up here, yeah, you can read a little bit of that. But that was kind of a cool little adventure game. Sierra had a lot of fantastic adventure games in their library. And you played this as this little kid, Willie Beamish, and you played with frogs and slingshots and went to school and that sort of thing. And let's see. Next up, we've got an educational game. I don't remember this one, but Rocky's Boots. So, by the Learning Company, Davidson. Don't remember what that involved, but it might be a spelling or a math game. Oh, now, you couldn't just pop in games back then and then just they would play immediately. No, you had to like coerce your computer, often like very forcefully, to actually load in a way that would allow you to play the game. So this disc has instructions on it, and it says Rocky's Boots. Put this disc in the computer, turn it on. So I've got instructions on the disc on how to load that other game. And then I've got Thexter 2, disc 3, and we could go and look up what Thexter 2 is, or Thexter 1. But, yeah, what the hell. Let's do it. Thexter game. Oh, yeah. So, Well, that's a tiny. That's also tiny. All right. So it was sort of a. That's far more graphically intense. This was what I was playing right here. Tiny, tiny little. You were sort of a mech, and you could transform between this walking thing and yeah. I mean, this was it. You could transform between that and a ship. So pretty cool. Now this next one is one of my favorite games, and it's got 10 discs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, there we go. We got all 10. All right, in their original discs. Hero's Quest. I don't think you're gonna be able to read that. There we go. Hero's Quest 1. So you want to be a hero. Discs 1 to 10. MS-DOS and so on and so forth. It's got serial numbers on here, version numbers, and all kinds of things. Now, again, much like King's Quest, if you haven't played Hero's Quest, this is probably my fondest memory from gaming as a child, was the Hero's Quest series. This was mine. My sister was into the King's Quest games, and then we both played Space Quest together. We played these games together too because we were relatively close in age, and it just worked out. And let's see. Last up, we won't get into Arch Facts because that's boring. But last up is yet another The Imagination version and 5 discs to go along with that. So as you can see behind me here, I've got 3 other boxes like this to go through. And some of them are 3.5-inch discs, which is kind of where you graduated to once you abandoned 5 1/4. But there's one more with 5 I think at least 1 or 2 more with 5 1/4-inch discs in there, and that might be fun to go through as well. So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. I apologize for the weird lighting. This is my new office now. You can see all the sound tiles that I might or might not need to hang in here. I'm hoping I can get like a bookshelf put up on the wall behind me, and maybe some lighting or something. This is the only light I've got, and it's bad. I understand, so that's just what we're dealing with. So thanks for watching, and happy holidays. So if I don't see you, or there may not be a lot of gameplay coming over the next week or so because I'm going to be out of town, and I just moved, and that's the dog in the next room. This door doesn't shut, and it's a thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, and look forward to the next 3 or so videos on what else is in this mystery bin. And also, I've got a bin of Transformers that I played with as a child that we could go through really quickly and see kind of what's in there. So that's that. And you can look forward to that, or you can not relate to this at all, and let me know in the comments either way. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.